Hi, this is Greg Forzani with another Don't Miss Disappointed Business video. I want to talk about all the discount sites out there, apps, sites, whatever, and business owners selling their services or products on them. You got to be really careful. That's a complicated subject, too hard to get across in just one little video. But I would say this: if you're a business that is currently doing this or considering doing this, which is selling your products or services on a discount website or app, I can't stress enough the importance of putting a budget together to understand the implications of it. Meaning, generally speaking, on those websites, you've got to discount your product or service about 50%. And then the website keeps roughly half of what they sell for you, which means you're only going to get about 25% of the original ticketed price of your product or service. So just make sure you fully understand the implications of that. Can you do enough revenue to cover your entire cost of goods of the product you've bought that you're now selling, or the service you're paying someone to perform that you're now selling? And can you cover your operating expenses for that time period and still have, give or take 10% left over for profit? And the answer to that is extremely rare. There are cases where it works, fantastic. For the vast majority, the math doesn't work. So build yourself a budget, fully understand the implications before you make the decision of, am I going to discount on these discount sites? Because I've seen too many businesses jump on the discount sites, collect a bunch of cash really quickly from that discount site, and then not have enough cash over the time period to fulfill that service or product to those customers who bought it, to pay the cost of goods and expenses for the time. So in other words, if you sell a service and you sell, so many that when they're phoning to book their service, it fills up the next 3 months worth of your slots. The problem is you sold all that in one day, you collected that cash at a 75% discount. Now you got to pay your operating expenses and cost of goods for the next 90 days with no cash coming in from customers because you've completely filled up 90 days worth of time slots to provide the service. Can you do that? Or if it's a product, you discount it 50%, then you collect half of what's left, so you get 25%. Well, you got to go buy that product. If you're selling that product for just a little bit more than you're paying for it, is that little bit more enough to cover your operating expenses for that time period? So be very careful, know those numbers, because I've just seen too many cases where those companies go bankrupt because they just didn't understand the numbers and the implications of this decision they made.